Hello. How y'all doing? Sorry. I am drained today, y'all. Extremely drained. Ugh. Oh, and you are not off. Let's fix that. All right. Hello, love. How are you? I'm happy you decided to join me. I am all over the place today. More so because I am tired. This body of mine is giving me fits today, so y'all be patient with me. Be patient with me. But I indeed have a good word for y'all. So if you can just hang on tight. I got something good for you. You know how you go to grandma's house and you be like, "Oh, grandma, what you got to eat? What you got to eat?" Tonight I plan on giving you something good to eat. Go ahead and give you a little itis for the night, so you can sit in your bed, sit on your couch, and just think on that thing, right? So I'm not gonna hold y'all because I know that time is of the essence. And those of you that are usually here to join me, I really want to say thank you. Welcome back. So to my double R double C, my people that are here each and every bi-weekly, I guess I should say my bi-weekly fill-ups. Thank you so much for coming back and joining. It is truly an honor to stand before you again to give you a piece of me to pour into you. And I pray that everything that I'm giving you all today is something that can be useful in the near future. So happy Monday. It's Monday. Happy 18th of July. I hope that your past 2 weeks have been better than mine have. This body, I feel like my body just be like, I don't like you. I don't like you. So because this body act like it don't like me, I gotta kind of go with the flow, right? Go with what I know. And with that, then let me because this watch of mine is about to die. So with that, I want to say that you are in for a treat. I had to make some adjustments here because nothing wanted to work today. I guess since my body hurt, everything said it hurt, huh? So today's topic, what I do is every other Monday as I take a quirky, unique topic and then I put resiliency and I match them together. And I say, okay, so how can this topic make sense in the world of resiliency? And so for my people that come by for your bi-weekly fill-up, if you don't mind just hitting down there in the chat, today's topic is Peacock walks, which is why behind me we have Peacock, because for those of you that don't know, Peacock is kind of my spirit animal, if that makes sense. I feel like if I was to be brought back as an animal, I would be a peacock. So, and you will understand why I am dressed the way that I am, even if it doesn't look like it, even if you don't feel like it, right? We have to always, usually if you get up and you get dressed, you feel better, right? You feel better about how you look, how you feel, because it gives you a new jolt start into where you can be and where you should be, if that makes sense. So for those of you that come by for my bi-weekly fill-up, when you hear the word Peacock walks, what do you think that has to do with resiliency? Because usually you don't put the two together, right? It's usually either you talk about resiliency or you talk about peacocks. You never really put the two together, right? And so my my plan today is to give you the opportunity, right, to kind of get into Quita's head. So for those of you, if this is your first time, I hope that something that is said or taught today really stimulates your thinking and takes you to a different level of your resiliency. I hope that this gives you the opportunity to really grow within yourself. And if it does, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So even if it is not for you, it may be for someone else. So it would do a huge favor to me, and I would be ever so grateful if you would take just 1 second to go ahead and do that. Tag somebody in the chat if you want them to join in. You think this might be something they'll like because you know they into peacocks, or you just think that this might be something that they need right now. They're going through a tough time and they need a little bit more resiliency in their lives. Go ahead and tag them. So with that being said, where do you think peacocks even come from? Like, you know how you go to the zoo, you see stuff, and you'd be like, oh, okay. I'm usually the one that's asking all the questions like, well, where did this come from? Let me put my pendant on while I'm thinking about that. Where did this come from? How did this get here? What makes them unique? What makes them so amazing, right? And when we're talking about that, sorry, I am putting on my pendant as we speak because this is not going to stay if I don't. What makes this particular animal, and in this particular instance, what makes this bird so unique to resiliency? And as crazy as it is going to sound, try and look at resiliency in the mind of Quita. That's scary, I know. But try to look at resiliency in what direction do you think I'm coming from when you're talking about resiliency? And are all peacocks the same, right? Because, I mean, we not the same, so why would you automatically assume all peacocks are the same? But do you think that peacocks are all the same? And if not, tell me why. And while you're thinking about that, I am really taking the opportunity to be resilient myself. So, of course, for those of you that don't know, I have fibromyalgia. It wreaks havoc on my central nervous system, my muscles, my joints. So I have been on a roller coaster the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for that matter, with this body of mine. And, you know, everything that's trying to pull me and make me feel like I am not resilient and I can't be resilient happens to try and show itself strong. So I try to smile through my pain, work through the pain, work through the frustration, and still show you all that there's times that you just got to put on your big girl face, your big boy face, and push through. So, thank you all so much for my compliments. I appreciate it. So the peacocks are originally from Asia, mostly India, but they also have taken up residence in Africa and Australia. And I'm like, Australia got a whole lot of stuff that could kill you. How did a peacock end up there? Right? When you're thinking about where you're from and the transition that you've made, for those of you that have left home or that have even left a house in which you've grown up in, when you're talking about that transition, what was the reasons that you had to leave? And once you left, how did that affect your thought process, the way that you seen things, the way that you went about taking care of your day-to-day, right? How did that change your view? And I think that once we take the time out to say, well, yeah, I guess that does make sense. And it's like they used to say, it's more than one way to skin a potato. When you think about where you're from versus where you are, when you think about who you used to hang with versus who you hang with now. Some of y'all don't hang with nobody. Y'all just be at home with your own family. Did it change your way of thinking? Did it change your mindset? Did it change your view of the world or your view of people when you are around a different dynamic of people or a different group of people or a different scenery in the world? Did that change you? And whether that be for a higher level of elevation or just your perspective, it changed your perspective. And I think that because Some of us have moved because we needed security, because we needed stability, because, right, whatever it is that we were in need of, we had to move. And there's sometimes that we have to move in order to get away from that thing that is putting us at a state of depression. And I think that if you are stuck in one place, there's so many heavy energies and people and memories that are stuck there that sometimes we have to move in order to expand, in order for someone else to see us for who we really are, in order for people to appreciate who we are and where we are, right? And because peacocks are a symbol of so many different things, right? Power of Positivity said something like a peacock, your beauty is, let me just read it for you because I don't want to mess this up. Your beauty is multiplied when you spread your wings and show the world your stuff. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Each peacock feather is flawed and imperfect, but collectively, they create something of great beauty. Your flaws are what make you beautiful. And I slowed that down and was deliberate with reading it, because how often do we, because when I say we, Quita included, do we look at ourselves and we say, I have this flaw, I need to do this, I need to look this way, I need to gain this weight, I need to lose this weight, I need to get rid of this role, I need to, and part of it is someone else is watching you, and because of you, they're able to make it. They're like, if you can make it, I can make it. How often are we looking at our flaws, right? So I have heritism, meaning that I'm hairy, just for no reason. And because I'm so hairy, I'm like, no man gonna want to deal with no woman that's hairy. That's just too much. They don't, all the negative things I could think of is what I was speaking. However, there is always someone who's like, girl, that's fine with me. You still fine to me. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. We have to start looking at our imperfections as perfectly, right? When I used to do spoken word years ago, my poetry name was Perfectly Flawed. And they was like, what? I said, because every imperfection of me, within me, is perfect in itself. I am exactly where I need to be, how I need to be. I just have to come to the realization of it. It takes some work. It takes work. It is not an overnight thing, okay? It takes some work in order to realize that where you are at this point in life is where you need to be. The struggle, the frustration, the hurt, it is there in order to grow you, in order to enhance your vision, in order to gravitate you to a larger scale of who you really are. If you had stayed where you were, in the city that you grew up in the house that you grew up in, how would your thought of yourself have been? Very limited. You would have been very limited in how you seen yourself, unless there was someone else that was still pouring into you, still reminding you that you are perfect just as you are, that you don't have to be like everybody else, that you don't have to look like everybody else, right? And I said, you laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at you because you're the same. You look like everybody else. You dress like everybody else. Everybody else don't go out dressing like this. I promise you. And that's okay, right? I kind of laugh with my mom when I tell her that. I said, Mom, we dress different. We wear our makeup different. My mama will wear purple lipstick, blue lipstick, but that's her. Her uniqueness makes her perfect in her own doing, right? And it's going to be someone who loves that creativity. It's not trying to change it. There's someone who is right now that you can just close your eyes and think, that's still trying to tell you, you need to be doing this. You should be doing that. If you only did this, then that. They're trying to tell you how to change who you are. However, everything that you consider a flaw is what makes you perfect, right? I'm still learning about this because I got all these stretch marks, y'all. So I went from 150, 160 to 195 because of my medication. And now that I'm down to 175, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with these stretch marks? Right? And then I was self-conscious. I was looking at them in the mirror and I was like, how did you get there? Why did you get there? go away. But when I am looking at collectively as a whole, these stretch marks show that I am able to stretch beyond where I even thought I could have ever been and still become just as beautiful and wonderful on the inside and out, no matter what I might think about. I looked at these arms, I said, these doggone stretch marks everywhere. You hear me? Everywhere. And it's going to be somebody's going to kiss all on them doggone stretch marks. Girl, come here with your fine self. I'm like, all right, come on in. Come on. Because peacocks are usually a symbolism of strength, of beauty, of masculine power, right? Of showmanship. And that's why I like to wear the things that I feel are beautiful. Somebody else might be like, that's gaudy, that's too much. Do you tell a peacock to not show its feathers? Of course not. It's who it is, right? So this is a part of how I like to dress. This is a part of how I like to be seen. This is a part of what I like when I look in the mirror. Showmanship. Show yourself strong. Show yourself beautiful. Show yourself like, did you know that the bigger the peacock feather fan is because it's a male? So think about this. How many men out here making sure that they hair cut, they smell good, they look good, they peacocking. They are out here trying to mate, they trying to court, and they want you to see them. They don't want to blend into the crowd. They want to stand out. And so, ladies, once you blend into the crowd, you like, dang, he didn't even see me. You don't really got to be over it if that's not who you are. But you stand out in your personality. You stand out with your confidence. You stand out in your own unique way. I got a bubbly personality. I got days that I'm in pain. I got days that I can smile all while I'm crying. However, my flaws to someone else, because they're like, you shouldn't struggle through that. You need to let people see when you're hurting, are all a part of me being beautiful in my own way and saying, and on days that I cannot smile through it, just know that still makes me human, and that still makes it beautiful, that I'm still able to say that I can feel, right? There's someone else who is paralyzed and can't feel anything. Be appreciative of every stage of life, right? And because the renewing, the vision that comes along, right? Some people look at the eyes of the peacock, or the design of the peacock as the eyes. So they see things from so many different facets, on so many different levels. How many times do you only see things on one level? You are putting yourself at a disadvantage. Can I challenge you? Take the time out to look at things on someone that disagrees with you, someone that agrees with you, and someone that's telling you, maybe you should think of it in a different way. All three can't be wrong. And I made a post, and there was a young lady talking about how she was over dating. She was over it. And I was like, I feel her, right? She like, why date when they're just going to use you or lie to you or manipulate? Got it. And then I had to also take the time out to say, how are you choosing? What is it that you still have attached to you that's gravitating toward these type of people? And then there's somebody else that's saying, girl, maybe you need time to heal yourself. Either way, you still need time to heal. But it's still something that we had to discuss, because I had to look at it on different levels, from different perspectives. Is she young? Is she older? Has she been through trauma in her childhood and her adulthood? Don't know. However, there's so much that goes into it, and usually we only see one small 2-minute video, and then we think, she don't know nothing, she ain't about nothing. How many times have we already judged a book before we've even gotten to the first chapter, right? Because of the versatility and the awareness that happens as a peacock. The awareness is because we should be able to see things on more than one level. That makes you perfect in itself. When you are not afraid to say, I am growing my community, growing my children, growing my family, growing my extended family, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my business, my co-workers, my boss, right? What are you doing to help people to see things on a different level, in a different scale? During my retirement ceremony, I made sure to bring up the fact that peacocks wear a crown. I know that you probably cannot see the crown on this one. However, every peacock wears a crown. And I challenge you to think, all of you wear your own crown. And in order to keep your crown on, what do you have to do? You have to keep your head up straight, your shoulders back. You have to walk with a certain posture about yourself that shows that you are confident. As soon as you look down because you don't think that you measure up to somebody else, your crown is going to fall. As soon as you think you're better than someone else and your nose in the air, your crown is going to fall. Make sure you're balanced. Make sure you understand exactly who you are and where you should be at this point in your life. As a peacock, and it comes to resiliency, there's going to be times where you're like, I don't deal with that no more. That's not being, hear me now, that's not being cocky. That's being confident in knowing that you have elevated to a different level in your life. And we need to make sure that not everyone can see the same way, but how we are vocal can make a big difference. All right. Peacocks are very protective, so they like to fight. Some of y'all still like to fight. I know it. Some of y'all still like to fight. But there's no need for you to fight until it's time to fight. The protection that we need is needed right now in this day and age. There is there's so much that's going on in the world. And so we need protection from the people that's taking away rights. We need protection from violence. We need protection from negative mindsets. We need protection from abuse. We need protection. We need protection from our own thinking sometimes. We need to celebrate each other's skills and our knowledge and our experiences and say, how can you help me? That's how Real Resilient Conversations got started. You talking to somebody that's a survivor of abuse, of neglect, of molestation, right? All of the different things that I've been through. And yet I can still smile. I can still encourage y'all. I can still tell you. I know what it's like to lose a family member from violence. I know what it's like to have your innocence taken from you. I know what it's like to have people tell you that you are less than and that you will never amount to anything. I know what it's like to be heavier set. I know what it's like to be skinny and people tell you that you're too skinny. I know what it's like to be heavier and people tell you that you're too thick and ain't nobody gonna want you. And so there's a lot of stuff that Queen has experienced, and I still like to share it with you. And it's not just because I've been homeless. I have been homeless even as an adult, living in my vehicle in the United States Air Force. The things that make me imperfect in somebody else's mind is what makes you perfect today. Let me see. I feel like I'm skipping over something, but I know we're short on time. So, the average lifespan of a peacock is 10 to 20 years. So if they only have 10 to 20 years in order to find a mate, grow children, make an impact, and they're able to show off their beauty and put people at awe all over the world, what are you doing with your years? However old you are, what are you doing with that time? How have you impacted your family, your friends, your career, the people that you do or don't know that you pass by every day? When you go to a fast food restaurant, you go to McDonald's, you go to Chick-fil-A, you go to Burger King, how do you treat the people at the drive-thru window? I realize that for me, if I am on a date and the person that I date, I'm on the date with, they're rude to the waiter or the waitress, I no longer want to be on a date. I'm ready to go. Because I said, my lifespan is not here to cause someone else pain. They're doing what they have to do in order to take care of their family, to take care of their household, their bills. Why in the world would I make their day harder when I have no idea what else they've had to go through just to make it to work? Let's be the change that we wanted to see in our childhoods, right? When we were younger and we were like, oh, they mean, they rude. Now be the adult that you want to be able to show forth in your neighborhood, your communities, your countries, right? Because we're not limited just to America. We want to be able to show forth and really peacock out, right? Show forth our feathers, spread our wings, and show that I'm here for you. I love on you. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to help myself grow. Because the same things that I'm telling y'all, I have to look at myself and I have to say, okay, all right, Quita, today's a rough day. What can you do to get out this funk? And some days I might have to make a phone call and say, help, help, help. I was looking at a meme and it was talking about as soon as you wake up out of bed, you got finance struggles, you got depression, anxiety, frustration, disappointment, all waiting to greet you as soon as you open your eyes. So if I open my eyes and then I'm grateful, no matter who else wants to try and come in and interrupt my day. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Anything else I can do for you? Well, Queen, your bank account look like this. Well, you don't got that. And then the things that I do have. For those of you who still have children, there's someone else that's still waiting to have a child or was told that they can never have children. Be appreciative of the things that you have, right? For those of you who have a job, there's someone else on the side of the road that's wishing they could just have a piece of a job. Your car breaking down, you got to keep putting money into it to do regular maintenance. There's somebody else that was like, if I had a job, if I had a car, be appreciative, right? I'm trying to get better at that, y'all. Cleaning up my car. Not the thing. So I know each of us are different. And just like there's different types of peacock. Usually when you see a peacock, you usually see these particular colors, right? But they are different and they have different colors and they each have different meanings. And so with that, obviously someone's calling who is not watching the show. When you are looking at the differences that you come in contact with, I'm different from you. You're different from me. You're different from your neighbor. You're different from your cousin. You're different from your parents and how you raised your children, right? We were born to shine and inspire. Your inspiration does not have to be on a platform. It doesn't have to be in front of a camera, but your opportunity to shine and inspire the next is here, is today. This gives you the opportunity to be a peacock. Spread your wings and wrap them around somebody who needs a hug. Spread your wings and say, I see you for who you are. I don't judge you for your lifestyle. I love you for who and whatever you've done. Use your eyes to see things, to see people for what they say and what they don't say. Huh? Different levels. Be grateful, like I stated, because right now somebody's getting the phone call they never wanted to hear. And yet you're still able to be here. Listen on while you're driving, while you're washing, while you're doing the dishes. Be grateful. Be grateful that you have as some call it, the third eye. You get to see beyond what you see. As your peacock, you have so many eyes on so many different things. You can watch your children. You can watch your business. You can watch how you take care of your household. You can watch how you, and when you're driving and then you're listening to music, all these things that you're seeing all at the same time and you don't even realize it. There's more good things to come. You just have to see them, if that makes sense. Recognize your brilliance. Recognize who you are. And I will not take up any more of your time. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's discussion on Peacock walks. Remember to walk with your head held high, your shoulders back, as to not shift and throw down your crown. If you see your brother or your sister whose crown is shifted, take the time out and just realign them and remind them of who they are, whose they are, and how important they are in the kingdom. We want to take the time out to say thank you so much for joining. If this was your first time, please, please, please come back again. For those of you who have been here before, please like, share, and subscribe. If not for you, for the next person who may be in need of hearing this message. Remember that you have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, so that you can make a difference in your life, those that you have influenced, and those that you don't even know that are watching you. So I thank you again for joining me. I hope that you come back in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, our topic is going to be called, drum roll please, I'm on a budget. It's the summertime. Some of us have been out and about doing our thing, because as soon as summer hit, we out in these streets. And now you like, my bank say I've been out in these streets. We talking about I'm on a budget, and it's not just what you think. We're going to dive into some different arenas when we're talking about being on the budget and resiliency. So I am going to try and have my special guest come in, Mr. James Speaker. He will be joining us. If not today, then if not on the next episode, it will be on very, very soon, within the next 2 episodes. Mr. James Speaker, who is a Virginia known, he's a prize-winning man of the hour. So I want to make sure and bring him on to Real Resilient Conversations to talk about how resiliency has changed his life in respect to the day-to-day things. And I wanted to have a male perspective on here, because there are times, those of us that go through, and you never would have known it, right? So trust me, come back again on 1 August, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we talk about I'm on a budget. So we will see you then. If you have any topics you would like for me to discuss, hit me up on the inbox. I would love to hear and bring it up. And if not, love, peace, joy, and happiness, I pray for your life and those around you. Until then, see you in 2 weeks on the 1st, y'all, because it's going to be the 1st of the month. See y'all. Love y'all. Be good.